Hi everyone. So today we are going to discuss the leftover chapter, that is Earth as a Planet, for class 9 ICSE Geography. So if you haven't watched part 1 of this chapter, you may watch. It is already uploaded. So now we are going to discuss the article 5, Earth as the home of humankind and the conditions that exist here. So we know Earth is the home of humans, okay? And what are those conditions, that why is Earth only the home, that we would discuss in this article. So Earth is the fifth largest planet we have discussed and the third nearest to the sun. Okay, so all the order of all the planets is just how is it, if the nearest planet is Mercury, then Venus, then Earth, then Mars. Okay, so it is a unique planet. Why is it a unique planet? Because it is the only planet in the solar system where life is known to exist. Means till now there is no other planet other than Earth where life is possible. Okay. So there are several conditions that promote life on the Earth. So the first one is distribution of land and water. The blue planet Earth justifies the name given to it, as this is the only. So why is the blue planet Earth? Okay, the Earth is, why is the Earth called blue planet? We know it justifies, the name only justifies that it is the only planet where there is more than twice as much water as land. Means if now see, if we have 29% of land, okay, 29% of land, and they are saying that twice of 29% means more than twice of 29% we have water, that is 71%. Okay, so the twice of 29, the twice of 29 is 58. So means more than 58, more than the twice of the composition of land we have water. Okay, so this is the only thing they are saying. So thus the distribution of land and water is uneven, means it is not balanced. The water is 71% present on our Earth and 29% is the land. In the northern hemisphere, means in the north part of our world, the areas of land and water are the nearly equal. Okay, whenever you see a map, okay, in that you may see that the area of land, means the quantity of land, amount of land, and the amount of ocean, seas or water is nearly equal. Whereas in the southern hemisphere, there is nearly 15 times as much as land. Means if the land is just one, nothing else. If the land is 1, then the water would be 15. This thing they are saying means it is 15 times the land. Okay, so a careful study of the globe would reveal a number of outstanding points concerning the distribution of land and water, such as, so they have made a study of the globe that we would be discussing in these outstanding points, that are 4 points are given here. There is an antipodal arrangement of land and water on directly opposite side of the earth. Okay, what is the meaning of antipodal? Means opposite side. Okay, like we have the globe. Okay, we have the globe. This is a globe. If the one part we take, this is the A side, this is the B side. In this point, I would explain you what they are saying. They are saying if this side there is land here, and this side there would be water. Okay, means they would be opposite. If here is land, here would be water, and if here is water, then here would be land. So means opposite. If at one side land is there, at the other side it would be water. Nothing else they are saying at this point. Okay, so if there is land in one part of the globe, then there is water opposite to it. Simple thing they are saying, that if there is land, that only explain you that if there is land at the one side and at the opposite side there would be water. Even the North Polar Ocean is opposite to Antarctic landmass. Now you see the Antarctic landmass, okay, Antarctica. If you see its opposite side, you would see the North Polar Ocean. You may see the map, okay. You would just understand with the map very easily what they are saying. That Antarctic landmass, okay. We have the Antarctic landmass here. Here we have the Antarctic landmass, and if we check its opposite side, okay, now this is the opposite side, we will check. Here is the North Polar Ocean, okay, nothing else we are seeing. So the greatest land masses form an almost complete girdle in the northern hemisphere. So what they are saying is, in the northern hemisphere, the land masses, okay, like the mountains, okay, so they are making just type of belt, okay. We know that what is a belt, okay. Let me explain you. Like, we have a map. This is the northern, like this is the northern hemisphere, this is the southern hemisphere. So here it is coming a chain of mountains, belt of mountains, like this. It can be curved, you can check it on the map, okay. So this type of belt is formed. Belt is a chain of land masses, okay, nothing else. Now the third point, that land masses are narrowest in the southern hemisphere. Narrowest, let me explain you what is narrowest. Some of the students will not be knowing. Like this. This is narrow and this is not narrow, okay. Narrow means less space, okay. Like you like I may tell you that we have like there's some sort of bridges. They are narrow in between. Okay, these bridges are narrow in between. So this is narrow. Means the land masses, they are narrowest in the southern hemisphere, okay. So now comes the Antarctic landmass. Antarctic landmass, it has three protruding areas. One is extending towards South America, second towards South Africa, and the third towards Australia, okay. Let me explain you, okay, how is it. Like, if we have a map here, like this, it is Antarctica, okay. It's one part, this part A, it is extending towards South America, and this part it is extending towards South Africa, and the third one it is extending towards Australia. Means the parts which are risen up, they are extending towards first South America, then South Africa, then Australia, okay. So now we are going to discuss second part of this article. Earth, the only planet with life on it. Biosphere, the home of humankind. So what is biosphere, okay? Biosphere is a sphere of life which spreads over all the other three spheres. The term biosphere, it was first used a century ago by an Austrian geologist, Edward Suess, as a sphere of living organisms or biological processes lying at the interfaces between the atmosphere, lithosphere, and the hydrosphere. Let me explain you with this picture. See this picture, okay. Okay, see, biosphere is what? The point at which the atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere meet, that is called biosphere. Okay. So the point at the which the biosphere, the atmosphere, hydrosphere, and the lithosphere, they meet, that is called biosphere. And the cycle between these three, that is called biosphere, okay. That is only they have told. Biosphere is a sphere of life, means it is a cycle of life which spreads over all the three spheres. That the three spheres are which one? Hydrosphere, atmosphere, and lithosphere. Means the processes which are occurring between these three spheres, that is called biosphere. So biosphere, it supplies the essential requisites of life for all the species which is living on the earth, that is light, heat, water, food, and living space or habitat. So biosphere is giving us what? Okay, first it is also giving us light, okay, heat, water also, food also, and living space also. Okay, so biosphere all the or the ecosystem as it is called an evolutionary system. Okay, so now you would have understood that what is biosphere. Biosphere is also called ecosystem, so it is an evolutionary system. Okay, so nothing else. It represents a stable equilibrium of various physical and biological factors which have been operating in the past. So what they are saying is that it represents a stable equilibrium, means there is a balance between the physical and the biological factors. Okay, whatever processing are going on, there is a quite great balance in them. Okay, so air, water, man, animals, plants, plantations, soil and bacteria, they are all invisible, interlinked in a life sustaining system that is called environment. Means the environment. Okay, you would be listening the sound of the birds. Okay, so that is environment where we live. Okay, all air, water, man, animal, plants, soil, bacteria, they're all connected. We all are connected in a system that is called environment. All living organisms, microbes, plants, animals, and man have survived by adjusting themselves to the environment. So we have just now adjusted to the environment. When we just when we just started beginning, okay, living in this environment, we felt a lot of difficulty. The human people, the human species, it felt a lot of difficulty, but we adjusted in this. Okay, so it is therefore absolutely necessary that a balance is maintained among the different cycles like energy cycle, heat cycle, carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, oxygen cycle, water cycle, on which our environment depends. So these are the cycles on which our environment depends, and they told that it's necessary that balance is maintained between these all cycles. Okay, so that our environment remains safe. So now we are going to discuss about what is solar energy. We have discussed this a lot of times. It is a favorite question of many students what it is coming in the exam. Solar energy is the most important for the ecological balance. Okay, solar energy is very important. We know what is solar energy. Solar energy is the energy which is obtained from the sun. Okay, so whatever energy is coming from the sun, that is solar energy. So the process by which solar energy is transferred to the molecules. So like solar energy, what is the use of solar energy if it is not used by anyone? So the process by which the solar energy is transferred into molecules, that is called photochemical process. Okay, nothing else. One of the most important photochemical activities in the biosphere means in our ecosystem, is photosynthesis, by which plants absorb carbon dioxide and give out oxygen. Best photochemical process example is photosynthesis. How? Like solar energy, it is all solar energy, sunlight. Okay, sunlight is taken by the plants, they are giving out oxygen, then they are again taking carbon dioxide, then they are again taking sunlight, that is solar energy. So this is nothing else. Now comes nitrogen cycle. Earth's atmosphere contains 78% of nitrogen. Okay, so it is very essential for plant growth. Okay, we are thinking that nitrogen is of no use. It is of a lot of use because it is absorbed by the plants. Okay, so if there is a lack of nitrogen, then it may cause serious damage to our crops, and if crops would not be there, we would not be able to have food. So nitrogen, it is absorbed by the soil and plants for their growth. So they are absorbed by the soil. Nitrogen is absorbed by the soil and also by the plant for their growth. It is released in the atmosphere by the decomposition of dead animals in the form of ammonia. So okay, let me explain you something that you would discuss or learn in the third term, I think in biology. Nitrogen cycle. So what is this? The nitrogen is not directly taken or absorbed by the plants. Okay, first it is just broken down into ammonia, then ammonia to nitrates, then nitrites and nitrates. It's a very long process, okay, which is carried out by bacteria. So what they are saying in this second last line, that it is released in the atmosphere by the decomposition of dead animals. Whatever the dead animals are there, we are burying it in the soil and they are just decomposed, and then ammonia is formed, and ammonia, after ammonia nitrites are formed, and after nitrites nitrates are formed. Nitrates are also consumed by the plant. Thus the cycle of nitrogen is maintained. So this is the cycle of nitrogen. So this is nitrogen cycle. You may see this, that animals, they eat the plants. See, first here I will explain you. Animals, they eat the plants to obtain nitrogen. Then, okay, so the cow dung is, okay, cow dung is formed, and then the saprophytic bacteria, it converts the nitrogenous parts of the dead animals or the waste or the plants into ammonia. Then ammonia and nitrates of the soil are converted into nitrogen gas. Okay, nitrates, they are converted into some sort of nitrogen gas which could be consumed by the plant. So here roots absorb nitrogen from the air. The roots, they absorb nitrogen from the air, and so nitrogen, it gets dissolved in the water. Okay, from here they get nitrogen. Water living animals, they eat the plants growing in the, so nothing else. It's very simple. You have to not learn it because it's not very important diagram, so no need to just give a lot of importance to this. Okay, so where were we? Okay, here. Now we're going to discuss about heat cycle. Heat is one of the prime requirements of life. Without heat, we can't cook food. Without heat, there can't be any type of evaporation, no formation of, we can say, rain, precipitation. So heat is one of the prime requirements of life. This is supplied by solar radiation. You know, solar radiation, that is the sun. Okay, on the whole, the earth receives only 45%. Let me explain you with this. Okay, see, okay, so the energy 100% is coming. This is atmosphere, this line is atmosphere. The 100% solar energy is coming, but atmosphere, it just allows only 45% of the energy to go into the earth, and 15% is absorbed by the atmosphere only. And from this 45%, 15%, 40% is reflected back, okay, through radiation, conduction and convection. Means 100% energy is not taken up by the earth, 15% is absorbed by the atmosphere, 45% by the earth, and 40% is again reflected back into the space by the atmosphere and the earth. So on the whole, earth receives only 45% of the solar energy that reaches the ground. 15% is absorbed by the atmosphere and 40% is reflected back. Same thing, that 45% of the solar energy is reaching the ground, that is the earth's surface. 15% is absorbed by the atmosphere and 40% is reflected back into the space. They have to see this figure. That this figure is also not so important, okay, so just you have to take a reading whenever you're going for your exam. Now come oxygen cycle. Oxygen not only supports the life but also helps a great deal in maintaining ecological balance. So we know that oxygen is important, okay, for us. It is not only supporting life but it also helps in maintaining the ecological balance. Man inhales the oxygen, okay, the man, he inhales oxygen, okay, and he exhales carbon dioxide, and then carbon dioxide, it is taken up by the plants, and then the plants again, they just give out oxygen, and then again humans just give out carbon dioxide, and it is again used by the plants. This is only the oxygen cycle, okay. So man inhales oxygen and exhales carbon dioxide, which is taken up by the plants. Very simple. Thus it is very important to conserve our forest cover to sustain life on earth. So they are saying that it is very important because it is very important because oxygen is the only source for the life. It supports life, so it is very important to conserve our forest. There is a lot of deforestation now occurring, so it is very bad because he would only be affected. So here they have explained you in a bit here. Okay, same thing I told you, that oxygen, then it is just oxygen which is taken up from the plant, that is used by the animals or by the humans. Then it is used again through respiration, carbon dioxide is formed. Then after carbon dioxide it is taken by the plants. So now we are going to discuss about water cycle. I have explained you in part 1 that what is water cycle. So water plays a versatile role in the functioning of the, versatile means important role in the functioning of the biosphere. It is essential to all forms of life. It is essential to all forms of life, even the plants, animals, man. Plants, they also use water. Animals, they also use water. Man also use water. So water cycle of the biosphere, it depends on reciprocity of evaporation and precipitation. Reciprocity means that again and again evaporation and precipitation will be there, then only this water cycle depends on this. So what is this? You would have discussed this diagram. Suppose this is an ocean or a lake. Okay, here evaporation is done and clouds are formed because the temperature is very low upside. Okay, as we go up, the temperature is getting low. So here clouds are formed and they are just causing the rain. This is the only water cycle. Okay, so our planet, it consists of 71% water and 29% of land, that we have discussed. Water on the earth, it goes into the atmosphere as vapors by evaporation and transpiration of the plants. Do you know what is transpiration? That the extra we can say the extra water which cannot be used by the plants, that is just taken up into the air by evaporation, that is called transpiration. Means the extra water of the plants, that is the process of taking the extra water of the plants, that is called transpiration. So they told that water on the earth, it is just goes into the atmosphere in the sky as vapors by evaporation and transpiration. The vapor is returned to the earth as rain, snow or dew, anything else. So now what are the conditions favorable to life on earth? Conditions which are favorable to life on earth. The most remarkable feature of earth is that life exists only on this planet. That we know, that earth is a unique planet. The life exists only on this planet because our earth is a third planet with respect to its distance from the sun. It is the third planet with the, it's just the third planet because of the distance. Okay, it is neither too close like Mercury and Venus, nor too far like Uranus and Neptune. Means it is at the correct position for just having or harboring the life on it. Hence it receives just the right amount of heat which is necessary for life. If we would receive more amount of heat, then it would be a great problem. If we receive less amount of heat, then also there would be a great problem because evaporation would not occur. Now second point, although other planets have atmosphere, okay, although other planets have atmosphere, they are either too thin or too dense, full of poisonous gases, thus making it impossible for life to exist. See, the earth, okay, the atmosphere of the earth is very right, okay, very means very perfect for us, for just having the life on earth. It is perfect. If we are discussing about other planets, they have atmosphere that is very thin or very dense. Okay, they are not so means balanced. Okay, and those atmosphere, they have very poisonous gases which is making it impossible for the life to exist there. On the other hand, Earth's atmosphere extending up to around 1600 kilometer, okay, that we have discussed that the Earth atmosphere is about 1600 kilometer. It contains adequate amount of oxygen, okay, nitrogen, along with a small amount of other gases like hydrogen, helium, and ozone. So okay, what they are saying, that they have adequate, right amount of, perfect amount of oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, helium, ozone, and other so on gases. It acts as a blanket protecting us from the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun that we have discussed in the last videos, and retains the heat radiated from the earth's surface. Means retains means the it just protects us, okay. So besides its favorable atmosphere, Earth's water cycle is its most unique feature. So, water cycle is not possible on any other planet because there is not favorable heat or any other factors. Okay, so life cannot exist without water, that we know. To sum up, the Earth's location in the solar system, its atmosphere containing oxygen, and its water cycle have made life possible to exist on the Earth. So, what they are saying is, first, its location or position in the solar system. Second, its atmosphere, which is containing oxygen and water cycle perfectly, in the perfect amount, has made life possible on the Earth. So this is content analysis and brief that we have discussed. Earth is a unique planet, third planet in the distance, fifth largest planet between Mars and Venus. Earth is unique as it is the only planet to support life because it's, see, the same thing they are saying, its distance from the sun is neither too near nor too far, hence ideal temperature conditions. It has an atmosphere containing oxygen and nitrogen necessary to support life. It also has water cycle, three realms: lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. Then they have told about biosphere, then Earth is an oblate spheroid. That oblate spheroid means which is it is slightly flattened at the ends, and at the between it is slightly bulged. Its shape is described as geoid, meaning earth shaped. Proves that the Earth is spheroid, that we have discussed. All celestial bodies are round. Then why should not be the Earth round? Line of visibility also increases with height, that we have discussed. Okay, Earth surface is curved. Aerial photographs, astronaut observations. Earth equatorial circumference is 40,077 kilometer, that you have to just keep in mind, because this is connected to a second chapter, that is latitudes and longitudes. It's quite big chapter, but it's very easy, very important. The part of the Earth where life exists is called biosphere. It is the only planet that has lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. It also gets air, water, animals, plants, and soil. Very easy. Now here are the technical terms. You can just see here. See, I have explained you everything. Nothing is left, okay? Very simple. So now here is the exercises. Why is the Earth a unique planet? So here pages are also given. Why is the Earth a unique planet? Because it is the only planet. Page number 14 it is given. Because it is the only planet in the solar system where life is known to exist. Then second point, they're asking, why is Earth called blue planet or watery planet? Because Earth is called blue planet because of the abundance of water on the planet. There is a large amount of water. Because of that, it is called blue planet or watery planet. What is the surface of the Earth made up of? That I have told you, I have discussed in part 1. It is mainly composed of crust is formed of igneous rocks, and the rest part is of the sedimentary and that metamorphic rocks, that you can just check. Okay, you can check it on page number 12. Okay, under lithosphere they have given. Okay, so name a planet that cannot support life. Give reason for your answer. Any planet you can give, and you can just tell that we have discussed these favorable conditions, that you can tell that it is very, like we are taking Mercury. Okay, Mercury, it is very near to the sun, so there is quite a high temperature, so that is why life is not possible. Then you can give that it has atmosphere, means we can say very thin or very dense, because of that also. Okay, and that water cycle is also not available. So state three factors that have made life possible, that we have discussed only, page number 16. Now only name the various realms of the earth: lithosphere and hydrosphere and the atmosphere. Why is the shape of the earth described as oblate spheroid? Page number 12. The measurements of the earth at the equator and the poles show that it has a slight bulge at the equator, while it is slightly flattened at the poles. So that is why it is used, that is why the oblate spheroid word is used. Give two proofs about the shape of the earth, that we have discussed in part 1. All celestial bodies are spherical, circumnavigation, line of visibility. Okay, then they have told what is the significance of atmosphere on earth. Okay, so that also we have discussed, that atmosphere is very important. This okay, on page number 12 you can just check it. Then 10th, list the conditions favorable to life on earth, that we have discussed. That 3 points only, same they are just asking. Terrestrial planets, that is given in the technical terms to remember, page 17. Oxygen cycle, that we have discussed on page number 16. Unique planet, okay, that is also unique, we can just tell only. Okay, so then water cycle also we have discussed. Okay, like water on the earth goes into the atmosphere as vapor by evaporation and transpiration, and then again the vapor is returned into the earth as rain or snow. This is called water cycle. Biosphere also, that the layer of the planet earth where life exists. On in the new terms only, technical terms remember it is given. Environment is also given. Atmosphere is, we have discussed only. Atmosphere is what? It is the envelope of air which is surrounding the earth. It is acting as a blanket. Give reason. The earth is the only habitable planet. That you have you have to write only the conditions. We have done these conditions, these 3 points, water cycle, that now only we have done, that only you have to write. The earth's shape is geoid, on page number 13 only, that the measurement of the earth is shaped like an orange, which is slightly flattened at the poles and with a bulge at the equator. So that is why it is called geoid. Now the earth is a home of humankind. Why is the earth home of humankind? First you can just describe distribution of land and water, then about biosphere and solar energy, whatever, okay, that we have discussed only in this part. And now tick mark the correct answer. Earth's orbit lies between Venus and Mars. Okay, the amount of oxygen in the Earth's atmosphere is 21%. Earth's biosphere is also called ecosystem. The average distance of the Earth from the Sun is 150 million kilometer. This is an extra one we haven't just done. I don't know from where it came actually. Earth completes its one revolution around the Sun in 365, 1/4 days. Now here diagrams. Draw a neat diagram to show the realms of the Earth. That is diagram figure number 1.3 on page number 12. Then second diagram, they told draw a neat diagram to show the water cycle on the earth. That also you can tell we have done in this only, this water cycle. Oh yes, this one quite easy. Don't think that it is very complex. We have done it, so you can do it easily. It would just take about 10 minutes, I think. Very easy. Okay, so now what else is left? Yes, our chapter is completed. So next we are going to discuss about latitudes and longitudes in our next video. Stay tuned for the videos for class 9th, 10th and class 8th Icse. Thank you.